Okay, so the upside pressures that we're actually facing from the broader markets are definitely helping COSM with its buy-side liquidity. Please go ahead and take a look at this. This is the IWM Russell 2000 ETF versus, this is the spot price action versus the E-mini Russell index futures contracts, right? So let's go ahead and see what the potentials are for COSM. Before I get started, actually, guys, I have my little guy right next to me, right? He actually gashed his head in last night. We had to go to the hospital. This is the reason why I'm coming up a little late with the analysis, but it's still good. So if he decides to co-host, just go ahead. Don't mind him, right? So, and we'll continue on the analysis here, but let's get this started. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this Hump Day Wednesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Right, so the little guy's actually looking at watching a very exciting movie here on one of my screens. So in order for me to, he threw our schedule entirely off. So I need to just keep him a little distracted here so that we can get this analysis done, or else I'm not going to be able to get anything done. But yes, so this is essentially what we were waiting for, right? What we were talking about in the last video that we got for COSM is that we wanted a substantial upside or push from the broader markets here in order for us to continue on to the upside, right? So now pushing back to the daily time frame, as you can see here. Let me pull up the moving averages here. Where are they? Here they are. Okay, so yeah, now we officially got the golden cross on the Russell 2000. Of course, price action is getting really, really frothy, right? Got the golden cross on the futures contracts as well. Of course, getting really frothy as well, right? So all of this is actually helping out COSM push to the upside, right? So today, a very impressive price action as it led to a high of about, let's see, the 323. Yeah, that's some levels that we haven't looked at. I understand that we looked at it here on Monday for a brief moment, right? But we're starting to knock at the door of the upper side resistance. And what that means is that we now are potentially at a next consolidation area, that now that we have the next leg up and confirmed. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the price action here. Okay, so this would be the essential resistance that we need to combat. Okay, so as long as we're below the area of 324 with, as long as we're beneath that 324, then we can be within this chop area, right? We were before in this chop area here. Now we're going to be shifting over to this one here, right? So given that the markets continue to the upside, we actually just got a good CPI report. Inflation is down, so that could actually be a good indication for markets to continue to the upside. We're still waiting for the PPI report to come out, and I think tomorrow or Friday, which is going to be the producer side of inflation, the producer price index. So all of those things are likely to kind of shift the markets ever so slightly, right? So let's just go ahead and continue on the analysis here, right? So what we need to do, or what would be ideal, better said, right? It would be as if we can get a daily candle closure upside of the 324 area, and getting a daily closure above this area here would actually introduce the potential of a continuation to the upside. In this case, we would see the range of about 334 to around 336. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. It's already making a series of higher lows. And this is something that we want to encourage, okay? So let's continue on the analysis here. And just in case you were curious over the 8-hour critical contraction to expansion backtest, this, the 115% move to the upside, this is still, the signal has not fired. We need the signal to fire. But the good thing is that we're getting that cross of the volatility component, suggesting that maybe within the next few days we can introduce some volatility. And that would be highly ideal, because we would need the volatility component and the moving average beyond the 15th percentile in order for us to trigger this move to the upside, right? So that would be the underlying condition, okay, or the criteria to be met. So now if you're curious, right, this is an entire back test here. This was performed throughout the entire trading history of the COSM asset on the 8-hour time frame in particular. Okay, so from that, these are the sample sets, right? And this is the data set right over here. So we have a total of 16 iterations collected from the 8-hour chart, right? And 12 of those were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us a 75% upside accuracy with an upside thrust of about 115.23% over the span of about 6 days. And that does have a standard deviation of 298.45, where 68% of the results land, right? So I'm not saying that we're going 298% or even 115%. It's just an average move based on the conditions that we just spoke of. Okay, so now let's focus on the DMI. Let's see, the ADX of the DMI is sitting at 30% with bulls on top. That usually that's I mean, we have the DMI support. All we're really kind of looking for here is the volatility to pitch upside of the 15 percentile, and this move would essentially be triggered, and then we would start to consider the 115.23% move to the upside. So it is conditional. We are in a sense waiting for that. Okay, team. So yes, in fact, there's several time frames, and now look at this. We actually spoke about this daily time frame contraction to expansion setup as well, and this one is also ready for us to get that upside, right? So take a quick little notice here. The volatility is starting to expand. So as soon as this is upside of the 15 percentile, then yes, we would be able to apply a shorter move to the upside, which would then thrust the 8-hour to a further upside. So you're looking at upon a 28% increase here, you're looking at about $3.96. Bless you, buddy. And we would be able to really identify the potentials of the 8 or realize the potentials of the 8-hour 115% to the upside, right? So yeah, things are looking not bad. We just need a little more volatility to be introduced beyond that 15%, beyond the 15 percentile, right? Hold on just a sec. I have to kind of moderate the volume here for the little guy. It gets a little too exciting, too loud, right? So I have the interface right next to me to drop the volume. So let's go ahead and move on to the last part of the analysis. This is going to be the RSI, and this is essentially what is giving me the bias of some consolidation happening within this range, and that's really because, as you can see here, almost every single time frame starting. Let me just give them to you, right? So you're looking at the 30-minute here. This is the bi-hourly here. This one is the 4-hour. This one is the 8-hour. You're looking at the 12-hour, right? The daily, 3-day, and 5-day. So you can see that almost all of them are just kind of facing straight to the right, right? So that's a usual sign of consolidation. So it's not bearish. In fact, the major timeframes are all sitting upside of the 14-day simple moving average, represented by the pink line. The RSI signal is the cyan line, or the light blue line. Okay, so yeah, that's what I mean. It's just starting from the 30-minute. Of course, this would be the only one that would, shift itself back and forth, because it is the immediate short term. It lives out really fast. So, but other than that, yeah, starting from the bi-hourly and up, everything is essentially upside of the moving average, which gives us a bias that would, or we would favor the bulls in this case. Right. So, yeah, with the markets showing some strength, COSM is likely to show strength as well. And as soon as it starts getting the conditions for a nice upside move, that's when you're going to start getting the day trader, to start stepping in and buying in heavy. Right. So that's going to introduce a lot of volatility, too. And it's going to encourage the original investors to also average down. Right. So that usually happens. People tend to buy on the way up, unfortunately. But that's the nature of the beast. Right, but please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.